We feel comfortable only if the space that we are living is cool in summer and warm during extreme winter. This complex job to control the ambient condition of a huge living space is made simple after the introduction of HVAC systems. In this video we are going to learn about what do mean by HVAC system, what are its components and how it's working. Welcome to Mr. Smart, serving knowledge to make you smart. In a HVAC system represents the heating systems that keeps your space warm during cold weather. VIA represents ventilation systems that brings you clean air and maintains air quality by controlling humidity. ACU represents air conditioning system that cools your space during hot weather. The combination of all these systems is mandatory to provide you a comfortable living space during all weather conditions. Typically a HVAC system consists of several units working together to maintain condition of your living environment and air. Ducts are meant for bringing fresh air into the environment and collecting return air. For recirculation during summer, cold clean air is supplied and hot contaminated air is collected from the living space. During winter, hot clean air is supplied and cold contaminated air is collected from the living space. So where this hot and cold air is produced, they are produced in a unit called air handling unit, where an air handling unit is the heart of a HVAC system. An air handling unit is collection of several components working together to produce the ambient air, and air dampers are the parts that controls or limits the airflow and are located at both the entry and exit of air into the H. Once the air enters into the HU, they are filtered to remove dust particles and impurities by two stages of filters. Now the filtered air enters into the important component of an HU, a cooling coil. A cooling coil converts the filtered atmospheric air into clean chilled air, which cools the environment, or pass through a heating coil that converts the filtered atmospheric air into clean hot air, which heats the environment. Typically a cooling or heating coil is a long stacked tube in which the water enters at one end, flows through the entire tube and exits at another end. When the atmospheric air passes through this coil, it obtains chillness or heat from the water flowing through the tube, producing a cold or warm air. As a result, this conditioned air is delivered to the desired space or environment by means of a blower or a fan. In addition, a HU might also contains a humidifier to control the humidity level in the delivered air, and a mixing chamber to mix the fresh atmospheric air and return duct air in a proportion. All these components works together in order to deliver the ambient air to the space from atmospheric air. This is how an HU works, but the main disadvantage of HU is they can't provide the better result in large area of space. In these cases, the function of HU is split into two different units. An MA or makeup air unit takes the fresh air from atmosphere filters and delivers a clean chilled air into the space. These systems ensures the availability of fresh air and eliminates the negative pressure buildup inside the space. An RCU or recirculation unit maintains the chillness inside the space by recirculating the available air inside the space. Both the units consist of a cooling coil through which a chilled water of same condition is supplied to produce chilled air. Both the units works together in a smart way to replace H for a larger environment and produces better results. So from where this chilled water comes from, a chiller is an electrical unit that produces chilled water by using refrigeration effect. Typically a chiller consists of a compressor, a condenser, an expansion valve, an evaporator or a heat exchanger, and a circulation pump to circulate the water to HU. In an air-cooled chiller, the refrigerant flowing through the condenser is cooled by atmospheric air. In case of a water-cooled chiller, the refrigerant is cooled with the help of cooling water from the cooling tower. During operation, the cooling water flows from cooling tower to cool the refrigerant at condenser and circulate it back to cooling tower. The refrigerant in refrigerant line is compressed by the compressor and sent to condenser at high pressure. At condenser, the refrigerant is cooled by cooling water and passed through the expansion valve to reduce the pressure. The low pressure chilled refrigerant flowing inside the evaporator cools the hot water from HU and produces is chilled water. The chilled water is pumped back to HU. This cycle repeats. Hope you have learned about the HVAC system, its functioning and its components in detail. Like, subscribe and click the bell button to receive the contents instantly. Thanks for watching.